92.5. Let's do you.
It's Shelley Houston with Doc, and we're on the tour bus with Maddie and Tae.
Yes.
Hey, ladies. Hey.
Y'all. It's
Well,
been forever.
It is always a pleasure when you come to Philadelphia. I mean, it's been less than a year since you guys have really taken off. I mean, when did you sign your deal? Back in July?
Yes.
I think it was
June?
May or June.
May. I want to say it was end of May. May 28th, maybe?
And then we kicked off our radio tour on my birthday, July
But Growing
7th.
Country Song was released in July, so.
Yes. So it's been a whirlwind, but we've actually hit this point in our career on the second single, Fly, that we've kind of like been able to take a step back and realize what all we've accomplished in less than a year. And at 19, it's crazy. We've had our moment to be like, oh my gosh, that actually happened.
We just got back from Australia and Hawaii, so whenever you get to write music and play it for people across the world, it's like a huge moment for us.
Whoa, I'm actually doing this. This is for real.
You know, though, in artist years, the way that you guys act and the maturity that you have already and the way you hold yourselves, it's like you're 42, not 19. I mean, you guys are amazing.
She's Meemaw Maddie and I'm Nana Tae.
Yeah, Meemaw and Nana Tae. So basically, Meemaw Maddie. What are my grandma qualities?
Do you hold a pocketbook on your lap? Because most nanas do that, you know.
No, but I carry around a list every single place I go. I always have some kind of list going on.
Gets up early in the morning, drinks her coffee, and like starts her day. And I'm
hot tea. I like a blankie and being a homebody.
I never go anywhere without a blanket. I'm obsessed with cats. I read books all the time.
Yeah, we read books. We are very like old souls, but 81-year-old old souls. You know, like really, you know.
All right, well, I'm going to ask a question from your wisdom then.
Oh gosh.
Now, over these last months, so much has changed for you so quickly that what is the outstanding pinch me moment for you when you looked around and you were like, I cannot believe I'm where?
I think we have the same moment. It was our #1 party because people kept asking us, has it synced in? Has it synced in? And we were like, well, we think when everyone is in the room, like our label, our families, everyone's in the room, we're gonna have that moment. And it happened. We were both like sobbing, crying. It was really cool though.
So Tae and I, we've been songwriters for 5 years together, and we actually got to go to Eli Young Band's #1 party for Drunk Last Night because one of our good friends, Laura Veltz, co-wrote the song. So our #1 party was at the same place theirs was, and we just remember like, I guess what was it, a year ago or so? I can't remember how long ago, but not too long ago, we were watching them give their speeches, right? And so then we get on that stage and we're getting the plaques this time and we're giving speeches,
which I'm awful at. I'm bad at speeches.
Both of us, it was tough. So I am like the person that will. So she's a lot stronger than I am when it comes to like happy tears and stuff.
Not true.
No, she's really good at like not crying and keeping it together, and I am just a freaking hot mess. So I gave a 10-minute speech for this #1 party, and I was just, I just want to thank God. Like, it was a hot mess, and it's on YouTube somewhere, and I was just like, oh Lord have mercy. But that was the moment where we had every single person in the room that.
And our families were front row, which they should not have been front row, because I think I would have cried a little less if I didn't have to look in my dad's eyes while I was giving my speech.
Oh yeah, my dad does not cry, and he was tearing up, and I was like, oh gosh, I can't see him. I can't look at him.
You know, you're going to have plenty of time to really think about how you're going to respond for your second #1 party for Fly.
It's gonna be crazy.
Which is amazing for anybody who hasn't heard that song. It is the great. And they're in chairs. Did you see the video?
Video today. I saw the video. So, are you actually in the chairs, or is it like the wall is on the floor and you're sitting looking up?
That would have been so smart, but we had
a great idea.
These chairs were mounted on this like false wall, which was the first and then we get we're in these long dresses about to get on there, and they're still kind of mounting the chairs, and we're like, excuse me,
there was maybe 2 really big nails, and then we take a lunch break and we come back and they're putting these boards underneath it, and we're like, what are you doing? We just sat on them for 30 minutes. They could have fallen off. But
our director Brian Lazaro, he his concept really stuck out to us because of the chair thing, and the ladder that the little girl climbs up, and just all of that imagery was matching the concept of the song so well, and we wanted to match that concept of the song with the video as perfectly as we could, and we feel like we really, really did that with the video.
You did, and it's a poignant song. I mean, it really is. You listen to it, and you're kind of like, you know.
Well, we still cry whenever we perform that song.
Because our fans will sing it back to us, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is actually making a difference. This is so much bigger than just two girls, you know.
Our first show in Australia was at the CMC Rocks Festival, and I started crying on Fly because our first words that we ever started singing on Fly, people were already singing.
Oh,
And
there
so
was like 10
I was just like,
people right there.
oh no, we're in Australia and these people know all of our music. So it was
Yeah.
a really sweet moment.
Those are pinch me moments.
Yeah.
Like every time we see fans, even Girl in a Country Song, we're just like, oh my gosh, this is resonating. This is working. It's connecting. We're giving these people a voice, and that's the coolest part of the job.
Well, believe it or not, Doc is a late night TV fan and has even though he gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I don't know how he does it, but you,
The next day. So here's my question, because you've done David Letterman, you've done Jimmy Fallon. Yes. And the musical artist always goes all the way at the end of the show. What's your day like when you're going to be performing on the show? Now, you were just mentioning to me before, you're kind of a fan of Jimmy Fallon, right?
Oh, I love him
we
so
were actually
much.
just watching YouTube videos of him at lunch today.
Yeah, because you know the skit, So so I'm going to tell you the whole scoop on the Jimmy Fallon performance. Because the Letterman performance was really fast. It was bit, bam, boom.
Yeah.
So, but Fallon, we had like the whole day to chill, go around New York City.
Because on Letterman, we had about like 10 things of press that we had to do
Yeah.
before. So it was a very busy day.
Yeah, but the Fallon trip, we just went for Fallon,
Yeah.
so that's all we had to do, which was really nice. You know, we got to kind of soak it in a little better. And so we go rehearse and all this stuff, and then we get all dolled up. We're ready to go. We get on stage. And I'm like trying not to freak out because I'm like, oh my gosh, we're about to be on live national TV. This is crazy, on Jimmy Fallon. And I look over, Jimmy Fallon is like right over there, and he's like, thank you so much, thank you for being here. And I'm like, totally fangirling, and I'm like, oh crap, I gotta sing in like 5 seconds. Okay, turn it on. And I was like, oh my gosh, it freaked me out and like totally threw me off because I was so starstruck by him.
Say that. And so how many times have you been in Philly so far? Is this the second, or?
Our second,
Yeah, just the
time.
second.
And we haven't had Philly cheesesteaks this time.
I
We
know.
had them with you guys. That was
Yeah.
our first time to ever have them.
And they're
And they haven't had dinner yet. We got to get some cheesesteaks or something. Way to go.
oh, right? We got to get you some Philly's cheesesteaks. So tell us about Fly. Tell us about your album. Tell us about what we can expect from you over the next couple of months, because you girls never cease to amaze us.
Oh, thank you. Well, Fly, Fly was one of those choices with the single. You know, we had Girl in a Country Song, and it was rockin' up-tempo song and everything. And Fly was a tough choice for us because we were like, you know, obviously you want to go with the up-tempo, but sometimes that's not the right choice, you know. And so we were like, you know what, we're going to take a risk, and we're going to show the world a totally different side of us, because we wanted to show our fans and show everyone the depth that we do have. You know, there is the witty, fun side, but also there's this deep side, and you know, all the different things that we went through to get here, and our journey, and Fly talks about that. And I remember both of us at that time in our lives, it was like this weird moment in our career where we had moved to Nashville and we're working every single day nonstop, and nothing was happening. Little did we know, Big Man was up there working his magic, but we just didn't see it yet. But you know, we're just like in this standstill, and it was really discouraging for a little while because we just were like, I don't know if we're going to make this. We don't have a backup plan. This is the only plan. And so we had to get that out, and the only way to do that for us is songwriting, and that's what Fly was. And it's just so cool to get to share that moment with everyone and see other people tell us their stories. And in meet and greets, our fans will be like, I'm going through blah, 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 and Fly connected with me this way, and that's what makes everything worthwhile.
Yeah, and our album is going to be released June 2nd, and Maddie and I have been writing this since we were 16. So we have songs literally from the age of 16, and in this album you'll kind of see our story and our journey for the past 5 years, which is really special to us because basically we're writing about our lives, and that's what's fun, is because we can go into a songwriting session and talk about our feelings or talk about something that we saw someone go through and put it into music and watch it come to life in the studio.
Yeah.
And you'll see lots of different stories. We have bully songs, we have fishing songs, we have love, of course.
Breakup,
everything that a teenage girl or anyone goes through in their lives. So
The coolest part is like there's songs on there that we wrote, of course, from a teenage perspective, but then, you know, people of all ages are relating to it, and that's like, oh, this is working. This is really cool. And we so with the album, you want to make sure that it makes sense and it's consistent and everything like that.
a story. You're
Yeah.
telling a story.
So we wanted to make sure that this album, the story was very cohesive. It was like, okay, this is the beginning of our journey, and the last song is like,
One of the last songs we wrote.
yeah, one of the last songs we wrote for this record, and it's called Downside of Growing Up, and it just tells this story about, you know, moving away from home and doing all this to follow your dreams and stuff, and kind of like the bookmark of chapter 1 for us. And so it's just really cool to get to put all of that together and make that a story, you know, a chapter for our career.
It's amazing. You get like a whole career, basically down to 1 year. that, and you're just getting started, and this is going to be an amazing ride. Yeah.
That's why we named it Start Here, is because we are just getting started, and it's just the beginning of everything, and we hope to make many more albums.
Yes. Yes.